Children. Welcome to Value Education class. Today we are going to start a new lesson. The name of the lesson is Truth of Life. This lesson is based on the life of Gautam Buddha, whom we know as Lord Buddha. So let us read a story about his life. Gautam Buddha was the founder of Buddhism. His real name was Siddhartha. He was born in Lumbini, Nepal. His father, Shuddhodana, was the king of Kapilvastu. Mahamaya was his mother. It is said that Mahamaya had a dream of a white elephant with 6 tusks entering her body. The astrologers interpreted the dream as indicating that the prospective child would either be a prophet or a great emperor. So, Gautam Buddha is the founder of Buddhism. Founder means he is the one who has started the religion Buddhism. The real name of Gautam Buddha was Siddhartha. This you have studied in class 4th also. Siddhartha was born in Nepal in a city named Lumbini, and his father's name was Shuddhodana, and he was the king of the kingdom named Kapilvastu. His mother's name was Mahamaya, and it is believed that Mahamaya once had a dream that there is a white elephant which has 6 tusks. Tusks are the teeth of the elephant which are in front, which are visible to us. Not the one which are inside the mouth, but the one which are visible outside near his trunk. So she saw that a white elephant is there whose 6 tusks are there, and that white elephant entered her body. This was a dream which Siddharth's mother saw. When this dream was told to the astrologers, they interpreted this as telling the future of the coming child as either he will become a great priest, that is the prophet is the priest who gives lessons, teachings and lectures on life, on philosophy. So either the child will be a prophet or he will become a very great emperor. So there are chances of either of the one. 7 days after the birth of Siddhartha, Mahamaya died and the child was brought up by his aunt. He was married to a very beautiful princess, Yashodhara, at the age of 16. At the age of 29, a son was born to him and was named Rahul. Siddhartha used to feel that a bond was bound to him. So now, when the child was born, Siddhartha, his name was Siddhartha, after his birth, 7 days after his birth, Mahamaya died. That means when Siddhartha was born, after 7 days, his mother died, and then the responsibility of bringing up the child fell on his aunt. So he was brought up by his aunt. At the age of 16, he was married to a very beautiful princess. The name of the princess was Yashodhara. Now, when Siddhartha was of 29 years old, he became a father of a son at the age of 29. The name of his son was Rahul. And Siddhartha was so much attached to his son that he feels a bond with him. A bond means a relationship. So he feels a deep relationship with his son. One evening, Siddhartha's charioteer Channa drove the prince in the city where he came across an old man who had been given up by his people. He saw another man suffering from the agony of disease, and Channa told him that such was the fate of every human being. Then he saw a dead man surrounded by weeping relatives. So one evening what happened, Siddhartha was out visiting his city with his charioteer, that is his name was Channa. Charioteer is the person who drove chariot. Chariot is a kind of a vehicle driven by horses. So the name of the charioteer was Channa. So Siddhartha was on a visit of his city. At that time, he saw an old man, and that old man was given up by his people. That means nobody was there to take care of him. Even his own relatives and people, they have left him alone in the old age. After some time, he saw one man who was very ill. Agony of disease means he was suffering from a big disease, and then the charioteer Channa told him that every human being has to suffer some or the other disease. Nobody is healthy in the world, and some or the other disease will attack us at any moment of time. Now, afterwards, he saw a dead man, and that dead man was surrounded by his family members and they were weeping. So, on a single day, Siddhartha has seen an old man, a ill person, and a dead man. All these things disturbed him a lot. Later, he saw a mendicant who had given up the world and was moving about in search of truth. These experiences affected the mind of Siddharth, and he left his wife and child sleeping and went away accompanied by Channa, the charioteer, in search of enlightenment. Now, after seeing an old man, a diseased man, and a dead man, he saw the fourth person who was a mendicant. Mendicant is a person who is like a priest who has taken the oath that he will always remain in poverty and live his life by begging and then surviving. So he's a kind of a saint, you can say. And people used to do such things. They become mendicant because they want to know the truth of life. This is a way of knowing truth in life, truth of life. So four people of different sorts Siddhartha has seen. Now all these experiences, they created some impact in the mind of Siddhartha, and he became very disturbed, and one evening he left his wife and child. At one night he left his wife and child when they were sleeping, and he left the palace. When he was leaving the palace, the same charioteer whose name was Channa, he also joined Siddhartha, and both of them went out in search of enlightenment. Enlightenment is the ultimate truth. What is the truth of our life, why we are born, why we are living, and why do we die? This to know the answers of these questions is known as enlightenment. So Siddhartha and Channa left the palace to find enlightenment. Prince Siddharth sat under a peepal tree where he got enlightenment and came to be known as the Buddha or the Enlightened One. Buddha explained the Four Noble Truths and emphasized the fact that life was full of pain, which could be removed only by the removal of all desires. Now, Prince Siddhartha, in search of enlightenment, he sat under a peepal tree, and there he used to try to find out the answers of his questions. And one day he got enlightenment. That means he got the answers of all his questions, and then he came to be known as Buddha, or we also call him the Enlightened One. Now, in your fourth class also in English reader, you have read about enlightened Buddha, the Enlightened One. Now, when he attained the enlightenment, Buddha explained four noble truths to us. These are the four ultimate truths, and they emphasize, they put pressure on the fact that our life is full of pain. And these pains could only be removed from our life when we remove all our wishes, when we do not have any desires, any expectations, or any wishes from our life. There will be no pain. So the fourth noble truths which Buddha told us, they are as follow. The first truth is the existence of sorrow. All here is sorrowful and full of pain. So what Buddha told us, the first truth is that life is full of sorrows. Everywhere there is pain and sorrow. Nobody is happy. The second truth is the cause of sorrow. Desire is the cause of all evils, and hence it must be removed. The next truth Buddha told was about the cause of the sorrow. Why we remain sad in our lives, why it is so painful. Our lives are painful because we have a lot of desires. We used to have a lot of wish. So all these wishes and desires, they are the cause of all the evils. Evils are means that all the bad things, and hence desire should be removed from our life so that we can lead a happy life. The third truth is ceasing sorrow. Sorrow can be ended only by the elimination of desires. When sorrow ends, there is perfect bliss. Life and death end. So now the third truth Buddha told us is how to cease sorrow. Cease means to stop sorrow. To stop sorrow, we should end our desires. We should eliminate them. Eliminate means remove them. We should remove all our desires. We should not expect anything from us, from others, or from our life. So sorrow, it ends. When sorrow ends, the life becomes perfect bliss. Perfect bliss means it becomes a perfect blessing for us. And life and death, they are both the same end. The fourth truth is that there must be a way to attain bliss and end desires. So the fourth truth which Buddha told us is that there is a certain way in which we can attain bliss. Attain means that we can gain the blessing and then we can end our desires. Although it is difficult to understand the complete meaning behind Buddha's teaching now at your age, so let us just understand the following facts. First, let us not kill any living beings. Second, let us not take what is not given to us. Third, let us not speak falsely. That means we should not speak lie. Fourth, let us overcome anger by kindness and evil by good. So these are the four things which Buddha told us. All the teachings of Buddha are a bit difficult to understand at your age. So you should remember these 4 points, that we should not kill anybody. We should not take anything which does not belong to us or is not given to us. And we should not talk falsely. That means we should not tell lie, or we should not tell anything wrong about anybody. And we should overcome our anger, and we should do good, not evil. So that's all for this lesson. This lesson has been completed. Hope you understood it. Thank you very much.